The Gulf of Aden, one of the world's most dangerous shipping routes, where desperate men in small boats dare to challenge massive cargo vessels, and usually win. But on a cloudy morning in these treacherous waters, a group of armed pirates spotted what seemed to be the perfect target, a sluggish cargo ship, struggling with engine troubles. They thought they had found easy prey. What these pirates didn't know was that this encounter would completely change their lives forever. What happened to these pirates after they attacked this seemingly vulnerable vessel? The answer will challenge everything you think you know about modern-day piracy. Captain James Chen stands alone on the bridge of the Pacific Trader, his experienced eyes scanning the horizon. After 20 years at sea, he knows these waters all too well. The Gulf of Aden, where dreams and nightmares sail side by side. The ship's engine coughs again, a sound that makes Chen's stomach twist. They're moving at half speed, listing slightly to the right, a wounded animal in shark-infested waters. But Chen's face remains calm even as his hands grip the wheel tighter. 6 months. That's how long it's been since he lost his last ship, the Marina Star. The memories flash through his mind. The sound of grappling hooks on metal, the sight of armed men climbing aboard, the terrifying uncertainty of not knowing if he'd ever see his family again. Now here he is again, in the same dangerous waters. But something feels different this time. The air is heavy with anticipation, as if the sea itself knows something is about to happen. Through his binoculars, Chen spots what every captain in these waters dreads, a small dot on the horizon moving fast, too fast for a fishing boat. His heart rate quickens, but his movements remain deliberate as he reaches for the ship's intercom. "Captain James Chen, all crew, security stations," he announces, his voice steady despite the adrenaline coursing through his veins. The crew knows what this means. They've drilled for this countless times. The approaching vessel grows larger in his binoculars, a skiff, powered by twin outboard motors. But it's the blue stripe along its hull that makes Chen's blood run cold. He knows that boat. How could he forget? It's the same one that took the Marina Star. 5 armed men crowd the small craft, their weapons glinting in the morning sun. At their head stands a tall figure Chen remembers all too well. Ibrahim, the pirate leader. The man who, despite everything, had shown unexpected mercy during those 5 terrible days of captivity. The skiff circles the Pacific Trader once, like a wolf sizing up its prey. From their perspective, it must look perfect, a vulnerable cargo ship, minimal crew visible on deck, moving slowly and awkwardly through the water. Everything about the Pacific Trader screams easy target. But is it really? The sound of grappling hooks hitting the hull echoes through the ship. Chen watches as the pirates scale the side with practiced efficiency, their movements suggesting years of experience. They spread across the deck in a familiar pattern, securing the area with the confidence of men who have done this dozens of times before. Ibrahim directs his men with sharp hand gestures, his authority clear in every movement. Then he looks up toward the bridge, and time seems to freeze as their eyes meet. Chen sees the moment of recognition flash across the pirate leader's face, followed quickly by confusion. But why would a pirate be confused about finding a familiar face? What could make this hardened criminal pause in the middle of a raid? The answer comes swift and decisive. 3 Coast Guard vessels suddenly appear, emerging from different directions like pieces of a well-orchestrated dance. Their sirens pierce the morning air, and Chen watches as Ibrahim's confident expression crumbles into disbelief. You see, the Pacific Trader's vulnerability was no accident. The engine troubles, the minimal crew, the slight list to starboard, it was all carefully crafted. A trap months in the planning, designed to catch one specific group of pirates, a group that had been terrorizing these waters for too long. The Coast Guard had been tracking Ibrahim's crew for weeks, waiting for the perfect moment. And Captain Chen, with his history with these very pirates, had volunteered to help set the trap. In the chaos that follows, Chen makes his way down to the deck. He finds Ibrahim standing there, his weapon already surrendered, looking at him with a mixture of respect and betrayal. "You?" Ibrahim's voice carries more hurt than anger. "All this time? You were waiting for us?" Chen studies the man before him, not the fearsome pirate leader of legend, but a human being caught in circumstances beyond his control. He remembers how Ibrahim had stopped his more aggressive crew members from harming the Marina Star's crew, how he had ensured they had enough food and water during the negotiations. "You showed mercy to my crew," Chen says quietly. "I haven't forgotten that." The words hang between them, heavy with meaning, because sometimes the most powerful weapon isn't a gun or a trap, it's understanding. Understanding that even in the darkest corners of human behavior, there's often a story that needs to be heard. During the investigation that follows, Chen does something unexpected. He testifies about Ibrahim's previous act of mercy, about how he had protected the Marina Star's crew from harm. This testimony changes everything. Instead of facing life in prison, Ibrahim receives a reduced sentence. But that's not where his story ends. His knowledge of pirate operations and his demonstrated capacity for compassion lead to an unusual opportunity: recruitment into a maritime security program. The very man who once terrorized these waters now helps protect them. His intimate knowledge of pirate tactics and the complex social and economic factors that drive piracy proves invaluable in preventing future attacks. The media barely noticed this story. To most of the world, it was just another failed piracy attempt in dangerous waters. But for those involved, it became something more. A reminder that humanity can prevail even in the most unlikely circumstances. Today, the Pacific trader still crosses the Gulf of Aden regularly. But it's no longer just a cargo ship. It's a symbol of something powerful. That sometimes the best way to fight back isn't through force or revenge, but through understanding and mercy. Captain Chen often thinks about that day, about how a trap set to catch pirates ended up catching something else entirely, a chance for redemption. Because in these waters, where desperate men in small boats challenge massive ships, the greatest victories don't always come from winning the fight. Sometimes, they come from changing the game entirely. And as for Ibrahim, he now trains maritime security teams, teaching them not just how to stop pirates but how to understand them. Because he knows better than anyone that behind every act of piracy, there's often a story of desperation, of limited choices, of human beings driven to extreme measures. The Gulf of Aden remains one of the world's most dangerous shipping routes. But thanks to stories like this, stories of understanding, mercy, and unexpected alliances, it's becoming a little safer, one reformed pirate at a time. As the sun sets over these troubled waters, cargo ships continue their journeys, their crews a little safer because of an unlikely partnership born from a moment of mercy. It's a reminder that even in our darkest moments, we have a choice: to perpetuate the cycle of violence, or to break it with understanding. And sometimes, the most powerful weapon against darkness isn't a bigger gun or a better trap. It's the courage to see the humanity in our enemies.